Hey, what's up, guys? Man, well, today I got another question, but this one was a good one. They're all good, but I like this topic, and it was about my book collection and what books I think that you might find value in or that you should possibly read. So I picked out three books that I personally think changed my life and my way of thinking. You know, there's a lot of back and forth about reading and success. You got Warren Buffett that says he reads 4 hours a day. Elon Musk reads like crazy. Bill Gates reads like crazy. And then you got some guys that just say they don't read. You know, they got guys out here that are just like, I don't read. It's not my thing. And, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I do believe there is a correlation between success and reading. My own personal experience, I'm going to tell you that me reading all this material behind me, no matter what it is, opens up windows. Each one of these books. Now, the three I'm getting ready to give you are three of my favorites that I think you should start with, or if you have not read, you should give them a look. But every book back here has gems in them. They have hidden secrets, little hidden gems, all dropped throughout them. And there's not one that I would take off this shelf. Even, you got the Will Smith book back here. He talks about work-life balance and how it's not possible. The more you want, the more you got to do type stuff. The same things that I say to you guys, it's the same types of stuff that he's saying, push yourself, go extremely hard for yourself. And, same kind of stuff. And that's what all these people say. There is no tomorrow in a sense. It just go, 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 go. You're going to hit failure after failure, roadblock after roadblock, but you just got to just push through them and go. And that's what everybody back here says. Everybody that's creating success for themselves, especially on a massive scale, it's just 90 to nothing. All gas, no brakes, man. I love that saying, all gas, no brakes. But anyways, look, I'm going to jump right into it. I'm going to start. The first book I'm going to bring out is $1 Million Habits. Brian Tracy. I'll put this cigar down. $1 Million Habits by Brian Tracy. This book, I read it twice. When I first read this book, I was hands down homeless. I was washing dishes at Texas Roadhouse. I had absolutely nothing going for myself. The girl I was dating previously had broke up with me, just that whole sad puppy out in the rain kind of story, man. And I was looking for answers how to better my life. And I was like, man, these people are doing something. What are they doing that I'm missing? Because I felt like I was doing everything right, within my relationship and within my job. I had lost my job, all kinds of stuff, man. I had to sell my BMW. It was bad. And this was the first book that I read. I mean, I'd obviously read other books in my life. I had read none of these yet. And, but I had obviously read other books. I read books in college and in school and, in the army and just all kinds. I'd already read other things. But when it came down to mindset, to business, to personal development, personal growth, just anything in that area, this was the first one that I read. $1 Million Habits. And the first thing the key takeaway from this book that I'm going to tell you that I got, you're going to have to go read it because it's got 1,000 gems in it. But the key takeaway from $1 Million Habits by Brian Tracy was that you have to start acting like who you want to be before you are them. If you want to be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, you better start carrying and conducting yourself as a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. And I know some people might think that that's a fake it till you make it, but that is not. Because if you are at ground zero, if you are at the bottom of the totem pole and you feel like you got nowhere else to go, then go up. Start acting like who you want to be. And you have no choice but to become that person. In a sense, You have no choice but to become that person. Will you? I hope you become the CEO of a Fortune 500 company if that's your goal and that's what you're striving for. But just in case you don't, what I took away from this book, just in case you don't become the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, you will still land. It's like that old analogy, shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you land amongst the stars. You will become maybe the top tier real estate agent in your town. Maybe you become the mayor of your town. Maybe you become a state governor. However, you become something more powerful and so further along in life than where you are now if you just start acting and conducting yourself in that manner of that CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Or if your thoughts, this also talks about goal setting, proper planning, how to kind of evaluate your life at to where you're at and to grow to the next level. So many gems in here. But the main thing I took away was that being a millionaire should not be your focus, but the person you must become to be a millionaire. If that makes sense, I'm going to say it again. Being a millionaire or becoming a millionaire should not be your focus. Your focus should be the person you must become to be a millionaire. Focus on the man or the woman that you have to be to become a millionaire. Who are the millionaires? They're doctors, they're lawyers, they're top tier real estate agents, they're commercial real estate agents, they're CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, CEOs of any company. Those types of people. So what do those types of people have? What types of education do they have? What type of lifestyle do they have? Do they smoke? Do they drink? Are they healthy? Do they exercise? What are those people doing that you could start right now implementing into your life to push you in to that level? You guys understand? I know you understand what I'm saying. I got a good group of people out there. I know you understand what I'm saying. Focus on the person you must become to become a millionaire. Do not focus on $1 million. Focus on the man or woman that can make $1 million. That is Brian Tracy's $1 Million Habits. Great book. Highly recommend it. I love it. My second book, number 2. Man, this is my dude right here. I love this guy. The 50th Law, 50 Cent and Robert Greene. Robert Greene also wrote The 48 Laws of Power and many other more. I'm not going to pull it off right now. And many more books. But the 50th Law, I'm a 50 Cent fan. It doesn't matter if you don't like his music. Go listen to the man's business tactics. Listen to his business advice. Go listen to any interview with Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. Listen to the things he says about business, regardless how you feel about his music, his culture, or anything. Doesn't matter to me. When you sit down and you listen to that man's business sense and the things that he says, please go to YouTube and type in 50 Cent interviews and just pick through the ones, and then you'll find the ones where he's talking straight business with people. That advice is off the charts. This book, The 50th Law, great book, great freaking book. I can't say enough about it. Success is on the other side of fear. That's what I took from this book more than anything. Success is on the other side of fear. When something scares you the most, when you're afraid to jump. When you're afraid to start that business, spend that money, work that overtime, do the things that scare you. You need to get uncomfortable to grow. Success is on the other side of fear. We pray for success, but we forget about jealousy and envy. If you want to become successful and massively wealthy, people are going to hate you. And this also talks about leaving something behind. I talk to you guys about that all the time. There's no way to get to the next level without leaving something behind. 50 Cent says that success cost him his first son. His son's still alive, but his son acts as if he hates him. And he says a lot of that has to do with success and the son's mother and so on, and how those things go. Go watch those interviews. But there is no way, like I said, the quote goes, when you pray for success, this is 50 Cent's quote, when you pray for success, do not forget about jealousy and envy, but the worst is entitlement. Your kids, your family, that was 50 Cent. Do not forget about jealousy and envy, but the worst is entitlement. When you pray for success, do not forget about jealousy and envy, but the worst is entitlement. When you become successful, when you start in any sense, if you go for, I promise you, back me up, leave it in the comments below. Tell me, guys, if you've seen any form of money in your life, especially you older ones to the younger ones, because I have a wide range of people. So far, I've gotten people all around the world, and I have people in their early 20s. Actually, we got some 18-year-olds in here, and I've already been in contact with people in their 50s and 60s. You guys that are 50s and 60s that are already millionaires, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Leave it in the comments below. When you were just starting out, I don't care if you went from 35,000 to 75,000, people automatically started assuming that you owed them something or that they wanted something from you. When you start making money, people will come after it. People will attack your character. They'll attack your name. And I don't mean viciously. They might viciously. They might slander you, which they probably will. Those things, because you cannot grow. Don't forget about jealousy and envy. And entitlement is the worst. Entitlement being coming in the form of your kids, your spouse, your parents, your cousins, the guy next door. Oh, I've been living next door to Ricky for 10 years. I just hit $1 million. Ricky feels like he needs something. It's going to come. It's going to happen. Anybody that's seen any form of just this exponential growth, people came for it. It's like I told you guys about talking to Sam Drury. He said I would stay broke. I never knew. He's a 70-year-old man. That dude's probably almost a billionaire. And he said that I never knew how many people were going to come sue me when I started in the hotel business. A team of 17 lawyers just for lawsuits, slips, trips, and falls and things like that. Like, nobody's happy. They're not going to be happy that you got rich unless you brought them along to be rich with you. Success is on the other side of fear. And when you pray for success, do not forget about jealousy and envy. And entitlement is the worst. Great book. 50 Cent is full of knowledge. I love it, man. I listen to everything that man says. And I would recommend that you go pick out some of his interviews and sift through them and pick them out. If you touch on that real fast, as you could stay away from his radio interviews. And you want to look for the interviews to where he is just him with an interviewer. If you get on YouTube, it'll be him normally sitting on a couch, or, him looking on some type of like Oprah type background, Ricky Lake, y'all probably don't know who she is, type of background. Let me know if you remember Ricky Lake. It'll be some kind of, couch background or something, or he's in a chair with an interviewer. It just, those interviews, man, hands down are great. But my all-time favorite, this book, and some of you have probably read it, I'm sure, but again, all these books are great. I got The Richest Man of Babylon. You name it, everything back here. Excuse me. I have every book wrote by Donald Trump. Everything. Donald Trump's business advice, The Art of the Deal. I don't care what you think about his presidency. I don't care what you think about the political side. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. We're strictly business around here. You cannot deny that man's business tactics. He's been on top of his game. Go watch his interviews from the 80s. Go watch this. This wasn't about Trump. I didn't have any of his books out here, but anything wrote by Donald Trump is golden. Golden. Go watch his interviews from the 80s. He says the same stuff. He's been the same man ever since. I admire that about him. I don't care what political side you run on. Doesn't matter to me. We're just talking about success and business and moving forward and getting to the highest echelon of life that we can possibly get to on planet Earth. You can't deny it. Doesn't matter what you think about him politically. You can't deny it that man is not the epitome. You know what I mean? So anyways, my number one book that I think each and every one of you should read that will change your life. It is full of so many little gems. It's got it's everything. It's got so much good stuff in it. So much good stuff. Bam. Think and Grow Rich. My number one all around go to. This is your number one business book. Get here. Think and Grow Rich. This book, Think and Grow Rich, you know what? I lied to you guys. Think and Grow Rich was my first book. This was my second. When I told you guys that I read this book, it was my first book on this trajectory of moving forward in my life, personal development, so on and so on. It was Think and Grow Rich. I'm sitting there looking at it now, and I remember that this was my first book. I was trying to better my life, how to get there. Why not go to the number one bestseller, historical? It's a great book. This book let me know that the power is already within me. Whatever I want to do, whatever you want to do, the power is already there. But are you ready for it? I really mean that. And what I mean is, let's just take it to monetary, what I mean. But if I handed you $1 million, do you even know what to do with it? Or are you just going to go spend it? Do you know how to grow it? Do you know how to turn it into 100 million or at least 10 million? You know what I mean? So as long as you're actively moving forward, as long as you are constantly doing the work, the universe has no choice but to reward you. But you cannot just sit stagnant and do nothing and think that you're going to grow rich, because it's not going to happen. Think and Grow Rich is a very powerful book. The power is already in you. It talks about developing a council of people that can keep you in check, whether, living or deceased. It doesn't matter. I have my council of people that I talk to. Talks about saying your affirmations. And I know that council part might have confused some of you, so let me touch on that. It talks about developing a council. Say you pick 5 people, and before you go to bed, you have a business meeting every night with these people. You don't have to physically know these people. Your council can consist of Donald Trump, Robert Kiyosaki, maybe Grant Cardone, whoever you want your council to consist of. And you guys sit down and have a business meeting, and you go over the topics of the day and what you're going to discuss for tomorrow and what you're going to do for tomorrow, and what are your plans to move ahead with whatever business you're trying to conduct. And right now in the beginning stages, this business is you. So what are your plans to move ahead in life, to move forward, to become the person that you want to be, or to become the type of person that deserves $1 million? Because success is just on the other side of fear. Think and Grow Rich is my all-time favorite. I actually want to reread this now that I'm sitting there holding it. It's a great book, and it definitely lets you know that everything that you want is already here, but you have to work for it. So, my top 3 books: $1 Million Habits by Brian Tracy, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and The 50th Law by 50 Cent and Robert Greene. Real quick to recap, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Andrew Carnegie asked Napoleon Hill to write this book. Andrew Carnegie took Napoleon Hill, or summons Napoleon Hill to his castle. This was, 1920s, 30s, Great Depression. He summoned Napoleon Hill to his castle, and he asked Napoleon Hill, he said, if I told you I could make you rich, but it would take you, I don't remember what he said, 30 years to do it, would you do it? And Napoleon Hill thought about it, and he agreed. He agreed to make this book. This book is full of advice from everybody of that time. Your Thomas Edison, your Henry Ford, your J.P. Morgan, your Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie. This book has advice in it from every one of those people. It has interviews from each and every one of them inside of here. Because Napoleon Hill went around and he interviewed the top people of that time. What made them stand out? What made them so special? How was each one of them able to become as successful and wealthy as they were when the rest of the country was just in dire need? I definitely recommend that book. I highly recommend that book. All these books are great. Like I said, each one of these books opens up a window or a door to something else. You got Ed Mylett back here, The Power of One More. Just when you feel like quitting, when you think you can't do anymore, one more. Just do one more. If you're trying to get sober and you feel like drinking, do one more day. Just give me one more day. You don't feel like working out no more? Give me one more day. You want to quit your job? Give me one more day. Quit tomorrow. The Power of One More. It's pretty good. Oh, man. You guys probably wouldn't think I'd pull this one out. Big Money Energy. Ryan Serhant. I'm sure somebody out there is like, what the hell? Why would I want to read that? Man, this dude talked what he did to get to where he's at, his first real estate deal. He faked it. He had a real estate license, but a woman was coming to look at he just happened to answer I don't remember if it was a phone call or an email, but he just happened to answer a call on somebody else's desk. And the woman wanted to potentially buy, so she was coming to look at like a $2 million apartment or something, a $2.5 million apartment. She was flying in from Japan. She was looking at like a $2.5 million apartment in New York. Dude had nothing. Dude was poor, living in, a very small, crummy little apartment, no car, no nothing. And he told her, yeah, I could do it. I'm the listing agent. He lied everything. I'm this, I'm that. He was nothing. He was just a guy. He'd only had his real estate license for a few months. He didn't have a car or nothing. She was like, okay, I need you to pick me up at the airport at this time. This dude goes out, rents a suit, rents a car, nice car, man. I don't remember what it was. He got like an Escalade or something like big, brand new, at that time. This was like 2010 or 12, and he goes and gets like a brand new 2012. And he picks that lady up in it and he runs the whole deal, all based on a lie, all based on a front. Big Money Energy. He talks about the energy to keep going, to sell yourself. He ended up making whatever the profit was off of that, $250,000 or whatever he made off. I don't know. Don't kill me in the comments. I don't remember. But he ended up making a butt ton of money, more than he'd ever had. And that's how his career started. I don't want to call it a lie because it wasn't a lie. He did what he had to do to get to where he needed to be. So, hats off to that guy. There's so much up here. I got, the 10X rule, Grant Cardone stuff. I got everything. I got everything, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I got some history books. I'm always going to tell you guys to read this. If you're interested in the way the country's going, 1984, George Orwell. This should have been titled 2084. Anybody that's read it, you know what I'm talking about. I believe he was about 100 years off. But the thought police coming to get you. This book right here talks to the man in the book. The man in this book, 1984, George Orwell. The man in that book. So there's no more pen and paper. You're not allowed to take notes. You're not allowed to write things down. There's no more notepads. You're not allowed to have them. Everything has to be done. There's cameras in your home. The man in the book, he gets a notepad and a pen. And he starts to journal. But he can only journal in a small corner of his home because the TVs watch you. The TVs have built-in cameras and they watch you. And when they can't see you, they send, the thought police come around and so on and so on. But it's very similar to some of when you read that, you'll be like, oh, wow, like this is some of the things that we're kind of going through right now. We know our TVs watch us. We know our phones record us and listen to us. People don't want to believe it, but we know it. So that book, I'm not going to harp on it a whole bunch, but 1984, George Orwell. Hey, man, if you want to know what's going on and which way the direction of the country's going or the world is going, 1984, George Orwell. But business-wise, the 50th law, success is on the other side of fear. When you pray for success, do not forget about jealousy and envy, but entitlement's the worst. $1 Million Habits, Brian Tracy. The $1 million is not the goal, but the person you must become to be a millionaire is. It's not $1 million. It's the person you must become to be a millionaire. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. Everything you want is already inside of you. It's already in you. You just have to become it. It's already in you. You really just have to become it. It's great books. Great books. So I recommend those 3. What are you guys reading? Let me know. Let me know what you think about these 3. If you've read them, let me know what I should be reading, because I am looking for some new material. I still got a whole stack of books upstairs that I haven't even touched on yet. I got, oh God, I got a few things that I haven't even touched on right now, to be honest with you. I don't even know what I got. I'd be lying to you. But let me know what you guys think I should read. What should I'm about to start Blue Ocean Strategy. I heard Patrick Bet-David talk about that a lot, so I'm getting ready to start that. And I do have his book, Choose Your Enemies Wisely. And I also read his book, Your Next 5 Moves. Great books. So you guys let me know what you think I should be reading. Give me something to check out. Leave it in the comments below. As always, man, I appreciate everybody that has liked, shared, and followed my stuff so far. I appreciate each and every one of you. I never thought that it would kind of turn into what it has. And I really don't know which direction I want to go with it, because I was really starting this just to meet like-minded people, and which I have, But ultimately, as things grow, you have to grow with them. So I'm really kind of figuring, if you guys got any tips or advice of which way you think I should take this channel. I mean, I am writing a book very slowly. Yeah, but writing a book is hard. But if you guys have any advice as to where you think I should take this channel, or what you think I should do with it, let me know. I'm trying to keep it as authentic as possible. I'll probably, if I have to run ads or something at some point, that's fine. I'm not going to try and ever get money out of you guys. So anybody ever tries to pretend to be me asking for money, it ain't me, man. It ain't me. I'm not asking anybody for anything. I'm not. So I don't, you'll know when I ask, because it'll be a book behind it, so. But if you guys got any thoughts on what I should do with this, or how I should do it, should I start going down that, I do know how to cut and edit and things. Should I start going down that road? I've been doing it just off the top of my head, just as authentic. I haven't edited anything. It has just been me and you. It has been literally, I've been running this as if you were sitting here with me, getting me in real time. I don't edit these videos. I really just upload mistakes and all. The rambles, the mistakes, all the crap, whatever I do, I literally just upload it for you guys as if you were sitting right here with me, because I get so tired of the YouTube crap. Buy my course, buy this, buy that, invest with me. If you make less than $400,000 a year, you're a loser. I get tired of that stuff. And I just wanted something to let people know that there are others out here. I'm not over here. I had some guy in the comments, talking crazy. I could care less what he said. I really don't remember what he said. But in no way, shape, or form am I portraying to be a millionaire, because I am not one yet. Not yet. I will be. That's a fact. I will be, but I am not there yet. So in no way, shape, or form am I trying to mislead anybody into that. I am still in the beginning stages. I am still learning. And I've already discussed some of this. Go back and look at my other videos about your first 100,000 and what it takes to get to your first 6 figures, so on and so on. I made videos about getting to 6 figures, and I would like to see 7. And in order for me to see 7, I am going to have to let things go, and I'm going to have to do more. There's no way that I can go from 6 to 7 and think I'm going to stay the same. It's impossible. And I've reached out, and some of you have already reached out to me and let me know that you've already hit the 7-figure mark. Man, let me know, and let other people know what maybe your thought process when you got to that. I know it was hard. I don't have the proper questions. I'll think of some good questions to ask some of you guys, because I know it was hard. I know you had to cut off friends, family, relationships, all kinds of things. So That's very interesting to think about, because I mean, I knew what I had to, I know what I had to go through to get to 6. I can only imagine what it's going to be like to get to 7. It was insane for me to get to 6. And I'm just now getting ready to start on my 7 journey. I mean, you guys are starting it with me. I'm starting right here with you. It's interesting. It is really interesting. And I hope each and every one of you go down this road. And I wish I'd have cut that. And I would love to. I would hope that each and every one of you give this a shot. The things I have learned, not just even educational, but just about myself as a man, as a person, as a human being on planet Earth, the power that you hold within yourself to be able to accomplish things that you never really thought you could. Like, oh, I thought that's for other people. You know, if you want to be an actor or something, you're like, man, I can't do that. That's for other people. No, it's for you, man. You have my word. It's for you. If you're wanting to be a singer, a musician, an actor, if you want to be a writer or whatever, you want to be a home builder, you want to be the best commercial real estate agent in your state or in your town, you want to be the governor of freaking Tennessee or the mayor of Nashville or Las Vegas, whatever. It's for you, I promise. But you have to become that person. There's no way to do it by being who you are. You will never become the mayor of Las Vegas smoking weed. You just won't. I don't care how cool you think you are and how well you think you function. You're not going to make it. It just won't. You're never going to become, you know, whatever you're choosing to become, the home builder consuming heavy amounts of alcohol. Hanging around with Bobby and Joe on Saturday night. You know, that home builder's not doing that crap. He's looking at blueprints on a Saturday night. He's hanging out with his family. He's getting ready for church Sunday morning. He's doing those types of things. So that's where I'm at with you. And that's where I've learned about myself, that there's no way for me to carry on and go to where I want to go to if I continue to act. If I can, whenever I was down, making, you know, $30,000 a year, and all I wanted to do was get to 50. There was no way for me to get to 50, which is your, you know, basic supervisor, your floor manager. There was no way for me to get there acting like I made 25 and 30. There was no way to get from 50 to 85 acting like you make 50, because 85 is your field supervisor. So your floor manager is a guy out there, you know, you got a team of, you know, 3 to 7 people inside a shop somewhere. Then your field manager, your field supervisor's got a team of, you know, 15 or 20 people scattered all around. You get what I'm saying? And then there's going to be no way to become the project manager or whatever your hierarchy is, making 105 or 115, acting so on and so on. You have to keep acting as the person you want to become. Anyways, man, I'm going to quit rambling. You guys know how I do. I can keep going. But hey, again, thank each and every one of you. Each and every one of you. If you guys got anything out of this video, leave me a comment below. If you got any idea of which way I should take the channel, leave me a comment below. And also let me know what you're reading and what I need to pick up. Something that you see what I got. I love business books. I love books that are going to get me somewhere. Let me know something that I should be reading. And let me know what your favorites are so I can check them out. Anyways, you guys have a great night. I'll holler at you later. Bye.